Okay, so we're going to pick back up where we left off on this grading. I figured out how to grade that corner. It's a little pain in the butt. I spent a little while on it, but anyway, I've got it. Okay, so now we have our site graded. We need to finish our curb tie-ins. Okay, and if you remember before, I've done this several times. I talk about what a curb looks like, and you know, whoops. Just just serve it. We can't do vertical, so we have to offset, right? So if you remember us discussing that, so what we've done is we have all of our curb in. We have where we're going to put our flume in. We took this flume out because we're just going to let that grade into that existing area, and then this will all go into here, and this will go into this pipe, and we'll put a pond right here. So first thing we're gonna do is gonna do our curb ties, and then we'll come back in and create a pond. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start right here, and I'm gonna bring this in, this flume in from this point right here. I'm gonna create a feature line and turn my snaps back on. 101.564. That's fine. Arc S to the nearest to this point. And if you remember earlier, I talked about the different options down here: grade, slope, different surface. Transition means just goes to that point to whatever the point ends. So we're going to do a transition and a line to this point and in that one. And so we're going, this is 5 foot, so we can go 1.5 feet, so we can make that 100 for the bottom of that curb. Bottom of that flume right there. Feature line from there to here. 101.564. Elevation 100. Okay. Now I'm going to send that to the back. So in regen, so that feature line will pop up. There we go. Now we're going to join this feature line here, and we're going to join this feature line right here. Okay. Now, see where this feature line goes to. We need to join this one right here. So what we want to do is make a continuous point from curb start to curb end, so that our offsets are easy to work with. Because this is not a joined object, when you offset it, just like an AutoCAD offset, it'll offset to this point and that point, and you got to fill it and trim it and clean it up and all that kind of mess. So we don't want to do that. Okay. All right. So we do want to trim this break this one right here. So because that right there is the point that this line is going to end to, and we don't want to offset these. If we left that there, when we offset these, then this feature line would either pick up this line or that line, pick up that one. So it would make that off by 6 inches, because this line right here is 6 inches. Got my annotate. I'll go back here, annotate, add line, add labels. Pops up, line and curve. We're going to label that. We're going to flip the label and see that we only have an elevation on this end. We didn't put one on that end. We'll do that in a minute, but we can go ahead and do it if we want to, because we know it goes to elevation 103.40. Okay, so then it mimics that. So this one's ready to move. Feature line, create feature from step to offset. 0.1 for our vertical offset. That side difference 0.5. 0.4 will get us to the back of the curb. Difference of 0. And 0.1 will get us there, minus 0.5. And then those will be the same. And you should see that works out there. And that's almost 2%. So that worked out because of the differences in where that tenth worked out. So that got us to here. Let's see where this line goes. It's continuous. So we need to break it right here so we can join this line to it. So we'll break this line right here, and we'll grab that. We'll join that, and we're good right there. So that'll put that, so we can feature line from step to offset. 0.1, difference 0.5, 0.4. All right, here, difference of 0, 0.1, difference of minus 0.5. And so that gets us to the bottom. Sorry about that, had a little interruption I had to take care of. That gets us to the bottom here, so that gets us to here. So now we're going to come in here, and we're going to draw a line here, and offset 0.1, and erase this. We're going to trim out here because we want to get the tops of those, right? Because they got to come back a tenth, so we can put our line in there. All right. So we can do this in different ways. We can slide this back. We can be, you know, how we want to do them. We're going to try to trim it because the last video I did, it trimmed it, and I never had that kind of luck. So, whoops, click on it. The second one is trim. What we're going to trim that line and that line. Dadgummit, it worked again. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to do videos on everything just so that it works right, because a lot of times it trims the wrong side. It's all in how I make these, I know that, but so anyway, feature line from objects right here and right here. And we know if this is 100 on the bottom, those should have been 100.5, and it'll let me elevation editor right here, 100, 100.50, and then click on that one. Now, okay, if you see it highlighted and it doesn't highlight, it means I hit escape a couple times to make it quit. You click on it, it doesn't automatically update. You got to click the elevation editor for it to let it update 100.50, because I don't know why, you know, if you do a lot of other things with AutoCAD and grab objects and stuff in the properties box and all, it updates it. But if you grab a feature line, it don't do anything to it till you hit the command. Okay, so just something for future use. All right, so I'm not going to draw this 100 across here, because if that's 100, that's going to be a line in my pond, and I want my top of my pond to be 101, because I don't want to be any lower than that. So that would actually going to be into my pond because of the height and the elevation that I am right there. And the reason we're not going to be any higher is because this corner over here, we didn't want to be too much higher than 102, because we didn't want to have to do anything weird with our curb on that side, with it being too far out of the ground with sloping back, if y'all remember that. Okay, so that gives me, excuse me, gives me that side. Let's do this one. All right, so we got to break this in a couple places. Break this one right here, and break it right here. Whoops, too much, too many clicks. We join that one, okay, that gets us to there. So we can feature line, stepped offset 0.1, difference 0.5, 0.4, difference 0, 0.1, difference minus 0.5, that puts us back to ground. I'm not going to do anything to the end of this, because it doesn't matter, nothing else is going out here, it's existing grade. That will be the end of my surface right there, and you'll see that when I get done, how we'll handle that. So we're going to join that, and that works to there. Feature line, 0 off 0.1, whoops. Feature line from stepped offset, sorry, 0.1, pick my object, which side, difference 0.5, 0.4, difference 0, okay. Now, they're just going to fill in whatever right here. Oops. I join those feature lines. Oh, it wouldn't let me join it because that, why wouldn't it let me join that feature line? Okay, let's see what happens. Let's join that feature line again. Okay. I don't know, maybe I undid or something. I don't know what happened. Oh, when I did this a while ago, maybe, I don't know, maybe I undid. Feature line 0.1, difference 0.5, 0.4, difference 0, 0.1. Whoops. Okay, that's what I was going to do. Right here, I'm not going to grade that back because I don't have to. I'm not going to grade back here. Not worried about, you know, do I make it to existing grade or not. They're going to just fill in right here whatever they got to do. I'm going to put some notes for the contractor to provide curb cuts as required to let the water out right here, because they're just going to grade that. He might be able to just put dirt in here and grade over top of the curb. I'm probably going to just put a couple of 3-foot curb cuts just so any water that may get trapped right here comes out. So I'm not going to worry about grading down because I'm not going to grade the surface on that side. It doesn't help us do anything. All right, I did not finish this corner right here, so I need to create a featured line from right here at elevation 103, 346 back into my dumpster pad to this corner at 1%, and we'll add that label. I don't know what this corner's got to be yet, so what I'm going to do is feature line elevation 103.346 and grade 1.0 and hit add. Whoops. Hit add. Now, one thing I want to do is check and make sure that's what I thought. I don't have it. Only insert a PI right there. 103.346. Okay. There we go. See if we got that on this side. We probably don't. Yeah. Insert a PI at 103.346. Okay. Because I wound up grading this straight across here, so it will grade away from there. And now I know, because those are the same, that I know that this is right there too. It's going to be straight 103.473 and grade is 0 right there too. Whoops, too many escapes. Annotate, add labels, line, add 103. That works. Okay. Now let's tie this in. So where's this line is going to here, and this line is going to there. So we want to, this line is going to slope on the bottom, but on top it's not. It's sloping down. So what we'll do is we will home feature line stepped offset, just our standard 0, and we'll take right here perpendicular. We can extend this. We'll actually need to do us a 10th offset right here and trim this and create us a feature line from right here, and it should be 103.9, should be 6 inches high, 103.930, and it should grade 0. And let's make sure that this end of that got offset, because I'm not sure that it did. We want to take this, we're going to break this feature line right here and erase that back side right there, and we're going to label that C. Nope, we didn't get the other side, so we can click on it. So what is that telling me? What it's telling me is that on the 0 end, it's telling me that these two lines are overlapping right there. If I pull that out there and pull it back here and lift that one, well, there we go. Okay, that got rid of that. That when it was grayed out, it meant those were overlapping. They wouldn't join. I want to join those. Okay, but this end down here, I need to be higher, and if I click on it and hit elevation editor, I need to know if I'm at the right point. I just click on a point. You notice the triangle went away. If I click back on that one, the triangle comes back in, so that one's the one I want. I knew that anyway because I knew it had to be 6 inches higher than that. Okay. Now we can offset that. Now we can feature line. Whoops. Feature line stepped offset 0.4. Difference gets us here. We need this to be 1/10 right there because we didn't clean that up yet. Because we don't want it grabbing any elevations it don't need to. Feature line stepped offset 0.1. Whoops. Here to here minus 0.5. Okay. And that elevation should be just like that. 3070. 103, 370. Let's see. And that's not. So because this is angled and this is set a little different, it picked up some funky elevations. It really doesn't matter on this one. This one matters right there. That one matters that it's because that right there would be where I would pick my point for my, if I put a spot elevation there, that's where I'm going to pick my spot elevation is right there. So it's fine. It's 103.9, so it's okay. I'm good. I'm not sure why this is. I'm going to offset this again, make sure I didn't do anything. Stepped offset 0.1. Pick it, come this side, minus 0.5. See that? 0.56, got a finger in there. That's what happened. Now it's right. Okay. That's why you label them. It checks them. Man, it'll check you every time. Alright, so what we're going to do around the masonry pad, we're just going to keep this at 103.346 to here, and 103.473 to here, and 103.473 here, and 103.346. So basically we just made where the block sits flat enough for what we're doing there. Okay. Now we can feature line stepped offset 0.1, drop that down, difference minus 0.5. Okay. Now we know that should be, we know what it should be, 6 inches lower than that. So we're going to bring that one to here, and we're going to back this one up to there so it cleans up, and then we're going to go back, elevation editor, and just change it. Yeah, I know it's 100s, but it just makes our numbers look good and don't get us all screwy. Okay. Now we're going to come here and offset 1/10. And we're going to bring this number back here to the parent intersection of that and extend this one to here. Why we do that? Well, this is a curb. It's 6 inches higher than the ground over here. Okay, right? So we got to be short for that. Now, what's cool is now we can come in here and feature line. We create a feature line right here. The end of that at 103.946, which is 6 inches higher than that, and grade across it at 0. Then these two lines right here should have picked up that elevation, and they did. Okay, that's the beauty of a feature line. It'll make that, if you draw a line there and tell it elevation, it'll raise that one to the last, whatever crossed last, whatever was done last, it picks it up. All right, so got us to here. Now we're going to do a little reference line in here, 0.1. I'll set here because this needs to come back to here, that point, and that's going to end right there. We can do it like that. We can leave that, and we're going to check that elevation. It needs to still be, and it's trying to go to 0 because it grabbed the end of that poly line. It needs to be 103.346. That's what I did it. You know, they're going to set it whatever. They may set it 6 inches lower than that finished floor even, but they'll make it work. But they got to be at least no higher than the ground, that elevation right there. Okay. We'll do the same thing here. Offset 0.1 and 0.4. What we're going to do is go ahead and just fix this right here. Okay. we're going to use polylines to clean this up because it's quicker and easier right here. Alright, and then this is good here. We don't have to worry about this. So what we're going to do is we're going to label this so we know what that elevation is. Quick and easy. So we can just feature line from objects on this one, and this one. Okay, and we can click on this one, elevation editor, pick an end, 0, notice the triangle right there, so that's the end of that one. It needs to be 103.946, and the other end needs to be 103.510. Okay, and then we'll click on this one, feature line. Is that a triangle end? Yes, it is. So that's going to be 103.946, and this one will be the other end, 103.510. Feature line, elevation editor. Okay, it picked up that end because we had an elevation on that end, right? But I don't know that end yet. And it's going to be back down 6 inches, okay? And we're going to put a feature line. We're going to just feature line from objects right there. We're going to see what elevation and make sure it picked up the right elevation, 103.946 and 103. It didn't pick up the right elevation. It's got something weird right there. See how that's 418%? It's got 106 on that end. So it picked up either from this line. Maybe we put that wrong in on that line. So why you go back and check. We would have noticed it when we did our surface because there would have been 3 foot of contours in there, and we'd have noticed and we went, wow, that's weird right there. So we're just going to make that 103 right there. Now it's 0. All right, now we're good. All right, so we've tied that in. We tied that in. Now we need to create feature line from objects for that one, okay, and we know what that is, and that is, this one should have picked up one end, and this one should have picked up one end, okay, and they both did, okay, so we can tell this to be 6 inches lower than that, which is 103.96, okay, so 103.46 and elevation 103.40, and it fixed both of those. That's 46, that's 40, so that water's going that way. We're good there. We've already done that one. We did the HVAC pad in an earlier video, okay. Now let's do this right here. Feature line from objects, and this end should have picked up that end from there. Okay, we'll flip the label so we can read them, and it did pick up that end. It didn't pick up anything on this one, so we're just going to make this elevation 103.5, 6 inches lower than the other, and this is going to be 103.4 on this end, 103.4 on that end, and then we're going to go from here 103.40. It's because I didn't hit elevation, I hit something else, and we're going to grade of 0 to right there, 103.4, 103.4 is good. Okay, so we have graded all the way around our site. We don't have any white lines left. We're beginning to look good. Let's try to figure out what was happening right here. I got to get this thing undocked. There we go. I accidentally docked that and it kind of got weird. Okay, there we go. So we're all the way around. Now, we want to do a couple of things. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some detention ponds in here for this site. Detention is a different video. I'm gonna stop this video at this point. I'm going to come in and I'm going to do my detention pond, then I'll pick it with a video, and then I'm going to come back in and do a finish up this video. Okay?